Assalamu alaikum, and bonjour or guten tag, whichever it is. Okay? Welcome to our first meeting of the Clear Thinking. Now, my name is Oscar Almeida. I'm an octogenarian, retired from the corporate world. Clear Thinking is the brainchild of Dr. Hassan. He and I had discussed it for quite a while, and he came up with this idea, which is an excellent idea to not impose, but to help people understanding who they are. Now, we are a non-denominational and non-profit organization. However, I must say that there may be a spiritual aspect and humanitarian aspect to this organization. So we will conduct it and then see how it goes, and we hope this will be a great success. So allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce Dr. Hassan. He's a graduate from Baylor College and an excellent neurologist, board certified, and he will start the organization for you. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Again, good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Mind building and clear thinking. We registered this small corporation with the state 7 months ago. And the goal of this organization is to help us to think clearly and do and act clearly on our thinking. I have been practicing neurology for 13 years in this country, and I noticed just simple reassurance to our patients helps a lot, saves a lot of money, and solves a lot of big problems. This organization is not affiliated with any. This is completely independent, just to help our community. We are video recording with your permission, and most likely we'll put on YouTube so that others can also see and hear what we are trying to achieve. I had simple example, 55-year-old gentleman. Many had this issue that I'm going to set the example. Went for MRI of the head, and the report was microvascular changes and white matter disease in the brain. So the man is panicky, fearful. My God, I have white matter disease in my head. And said, "Doc, please help me, save me." And this doctor sent to the neurologist. So I smiled and I said, "Look, you are 55. If your hair is gray, is it abnormal?" So no. I said, "Similarly, white matter change happens according to the age. So it's not a disease. It's just normal for your age." He said, "Oh, I am so relieved." Just one sentence. It changes the thinking process. He was scared that he has disease. In fact, he has no disease. All we need to explain. I was just talking to Ann Tam, and I said, "Well, the ladies are great, they do great things." She said, "Yeah, all you have to recognize." So all you have to recognize, feel, and know what it is. So let's talk about mind, what the mind is. It's a philosophical term. There's no clear-cut English meaning in the dictionary. Mind is just the combination of our thought process. When a child is born, before the child comes out, our brain is matured. And we have almost 100 billion neurons or brain cells. The moment child is born, because of the trauma to the head, pressure, 1 billion neurons are lost, 10%. But God has given so much abundant neurons into the brain, we are losing 100,000 neurons every day. But still it's enough till we die to function. God has given huge potential and creative thoughts into the brain. When a child is 4 years of age, they start thinking, they have some thought process, and the creativity of the child is 97%. They're very creative. It's the statistics, it's science, I'm not telling from myself. When the child is of the age 7, the creativity drops to 7%. Anyone? No, sorry, 4%. Why it happened? The pressure of the society, the negative impulses, this and that, it does not diminish or completely destroys the creativity. The creativity becomes dormant. It can be aroused again by good thought process. Thinking, belief system, it develops from childhood, from the parents, society, school. So we develop some sort of thinking process. It is just like having information into the hardware of a computer, into the brain. In human being, this thought process, what we have stored, it is called subconscious mind. Sub means below. Now, mind roughly can be divided into several ways. Conscious mind. See, we are talking, and consciously I am looking at you and you are looking at me, and we are controlling this conscious. This conscious mind is only 4%. The subconscious mind is 96%. There is something called superconscious mind. Those who are great people, scientists, writers, philosophers, their conscious mind connects with the superconscious mind and they achieve something. It's interesting, those great people have said, they don't know what they're writing or what happens, just some sort of conduit forms, and their conscious mind gets from the superconscious mind. So see, the mind can be so flexible and you can get to a higher level. But subconscious mind actually controls us. And we don't have much control on the subconscious mind. The mind thinks from this source of the subconscious. Our conscious can control it, and smart people can connect with the superconscious mind, and they achieve a lot of positive things. The mind can think on the basis of what we see. Now, what we see, mostly we are seeing with our eyes, the physical things, and that's the physical world. Money, car, health, this and that, physical. According to paper published from Columbia University, and Oscar actually told me, who is the gentleman?
Dr. Vijay Kaku and Stephen Hawkins as well.
They are the great physicists, right?
Stephen Hawkins.
Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah.
You know what they say? The physical world is only 4%. The unseen world is 96%. Now, what is the unseen world? If we say breathe oxygen, do we see oxygen? It's unseen. You drop something, the gravity, the force pulls down. Do we see the gravitational force? This light is electricity. Do we see electricity? You can see of those things, but they're present. All the cosmic energy, force, whatever happening is unseen. 96%, that is science telling. This unseen world controls the physical world. This unseen oxygen. You don't have oxygen for 3 minutes, you become unconscious. Religion or the spirituality says the unseen world is everything. The physical world is an illusion. So look, if we develop our thought process just on the physical world, we'll be missing 96% according to science. But we will be missing possibly everything according to our spiritual, whatever religion we have. The spirituality teaches the unseen world is everything. I will quote a great philosopher, Chinese, Confucius. I'm sure you have heard his name, most of us. He said, the reality is in what the eyes don't see. What we see with the physical eye just is physical. But the inner eye, the reality is what the eyes do not see. So if I say, what is that? You will be confused, right? I'm not saying that. The great philosopher Confucius wrote thousands of years ago. In fact, that's the reality. So our thinking process should be built on the basis of not only the physical thing, what we are seeing, then we will not be with permanent happiness or bliss, what we say. Now this thought process can medically can be categorized in different formats. If there is a abnormality in the thought process, so there is thought disorder. Normal, abnormal is according to the standard we maintain, but I'm talking about the general standard. Say if we are thinking wrong, psychiatric term is called psychosis. We might imagine something which is not present here. That's called hallucination. That's the thought process. We may see something and think it is something else. There's a rope there and we say, oh, it's a snake. It's called illusion. There's optic illusion, we always say. We create optic illusion and we see something else and from it what it is. Hallucination, illusion, something called also delusion. People say, oh, it's a delusional thought. Firm, fixed belief. People say, oh, somebody's going to attack him. There is nobody attacking here. Delusion. When it becomes dysfunctional, then you have to go to the psychiatrist or neurologist and get treatment. So all of us have this little bit of thought disorder, little bit of paranoid. But since it is not dysfunctional, we can still function in the society. I've seen with my own eyes. One of the patients, she had the belief that she had a child and people are hiding her child. So she will go to the neighbor's door and knock on the door and say, oh, are you hiding my child? Please give my child back. And she had no child. Delusion. So we treated the patient and she's functional, she's doing fine now. So that's one way of thought disorder, the thinking process problem. The thinking process can also think in such a way that you feel depressed or you feel too much happy. And then something in between, sometimes too happy, sometimes too depressed, bipolar. Everyone has in the society anxiety. Is there anybody else here that we have no anxiety? To some extent we all have. But if it is too much anxiety, then it becomes dysfunctional. Now, why should we be anxious? There must be a reason. We have so many things here. So that subconscious mind has become, trained to be anxious. And there are a lot of ways that we can control these things, we can talk about these things so that we can feel happy, less anxious. A lot has to be done with training our mind. The mind can be described as, just like a piece of fertile land. If you have a piece of land, you want to grow flower, you want to grow vegetable, something good. So you water it, you put fertilizer, so you get good flower or good vegetable. If you don't fertilize or put water, possibly weeds will grow. The weeds don't need water or fertilizer. Similarly, in our thought process, if we do not think deeply or meditate or talk about positive things and creative things, the mind gets weed. That means the thought process become like a weed. Worthless thoughts, these anxious thoughts, negative thoughts will grow. So we have to nurture our thought process as well. So this is basically the mind building. It is the introduction. There are details. We can talk hours on several aspects of the thought process. And this is just the first session, and we have only few people. We want to develop this, and once hopefully a lot of people know and they will join us, and then we'll go from what our audience want to do. It's not my way that I have to do in my own way. There's nothing like that. I have a lot of patients. They're very happy with the way we have handled them. A lot of people had tremendous anxiety, had been to so many doctors, and we just try to speak, give some little bit of anti-anxiety medicine. Their life had changed. I want to continue this process and benefit the people and also benefit myself from the experience. So I think that's enough for today's my talking. We'd like to introduce ourselves, and maybe we can go for questions and answers. So now let's start some questions and answers, or any comments, but be brief so that everybody can speak.
This is what I've come up with, is we all desire bliss, but we are deluded by desire for pleasure. Now desire leads to the morass of misery, in which the vast majority of mankind is helplessly floundering. The purpose here is to, therefore, clear the unfortunate perception which is seemingly present as presents itself as reality. All right?
Make it brief so
Okay.
that
There's in fact a dichotomy that exists between the physical world and its inner reality. The conflict between the material and the spiritual is to dispel the fallibility of this through clarity of thought, mind, and transmuting our actions more and more into the inner awareness.
yes.
In other words, a synthesis between spirit and the matter, and enable man or woman achieve his or her potential in mind and body. This does not mean renunciation or detachment in any form or the other, but fullest acceptance of our feelings and emotions as humans.
About subconscious, you talk about it. How can control us, but how we cannot control subconscious
Okay.
to help us.
How we cannot control subconscious?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
yes.
cannot, we can. So I will
can.
explain to you. Child is born. It's according to different cultures and custom. I know that in Muslim families they chant some prayers. So the child is hearing. It's called adhan. God is great. And similarly, in the Jewish people and the Christian people, they do some rituals. So the child is hearing something. By the time the child is growing, walking and talking, the mother, the parents, grandmother, they're telling something. So the child starts developing some sort of belief what he hears. So the first thing is hearing. The second thing, after hearing so many times, they develop a belief system. So somebody becomes Christian, somebody becomes Jewish, somebody becomes Muslim, somebody becomes this and that. So the thought process is developing. Now say somebody has become a Christian, as for example, by faith. That's the subconscious mind. They have developed, they have heard, and then they realize, and whether it is whatever reality or not reality, we just continue our deep thought process. This is subconscious mind, that we have developed a belief system because of our thought process, and we continue it. That's 96% in all of us. Now somebody wants to change their belief system, then they have to think deeply. and I'm not saying here to change anybody's belief system, to realize the reality. There is something in psychiatric term is called reality testing. What is real? If we are seeing a rope and thinking it's a snake, it's not real. This rope is rope, it's not a snake. So in order to understand the reality, the subconscious mind, we have to have this educational nurturing of the brain. Brain is storming, or whatever source you have, reading books, meditation, deep thinking, asking other people, so that the subconscious mind, what we have learned throughout our life, can have some changes and some rationalization of our thinking. So that's one of the way of changing our subconscious mind. Otherwise, say you are from Iran, right? You speak Iranian language and you have rich 4,000 year history. And if you just keep thinking that we were the greatest people on earth, we have 4,500 years of history, well, maybe so. But there's new things coming, more beneficial. So if we do not look into it, then we'll stay where we are. That's the way somehow or the other to come out of our subconscious thought process. So the conscious mind can communicate with the superconscious. Superconscious is very difficult to explain for me. It's something that higher power, and you meditate and think deep, your conscious mind will get into the superconscious mind, and you will have lots of changes. You miss anybody, I mean. I hope I could explain something.
You see, I don't want to dominate this.
Yeah.
Somebody else can ask questions. But like Dr. Hassan had mentioned, the human brain has a tremendous amount of potential.
Yeah.
Now, there are 10 billion cells in the human mind, in the brain. And each cell is in relationship to 25,000 other cells. So the enormity is astronomical. However, we receive 100,000 sensations each second.
Yes.
But the signals are we receive 5,000 signals each second. But the cortical brain can only realize and is aware of 1/1,000,000th of that. So vast amounts of the brain is unused and wasted. But there is a science that tells us how to access, through meditation and other sciences, that 5,000 signals and how to activate the mind into deep thinking. Because, you see, the conscious world is everything that makes up the entire universe. And we have to access that consciousness either through religion or to other philosophies. We access it. But the problem is we have tradition, culture, and dogmas which blocks our sensations of thinking that way. But once through meditation and opening the inner self, we can access that very deep conscious, supreme consciousness. We can do virtually anything in this world.
Yes.
Now,
Yes,
what is our
make it
goal?
brief. Make it brief.
What is it? So that's basically what we have. Of course, there are other things how to do it, and we'll go through it in the future.
Yeah, my name is Shaheen, and I have 3 children, one son and 2 daughters.
Very good. I'm proud of her that 2 of our children are doctors. The third one going to be a dentist. So she has taken good responsibility and developed good children. All right, so Miss N.
Hello, I'm here on the invitation of Dr. Hassan. A delightful opportunity because I didn't know what to expect. Single mother of 4 children, doing my part in raising responsible citizens. Being a workaholic, I have to say a lot of this is the privilege and luxury opportunity for people that have time for for introspection, meditation, etc. So for me it's a learning experience because always running through life, it's a good chance to stop and think about something else. As long as non-denominationally. As
yes.
long as we abide by the golden rule, I think that's already a step in the right direction, and then you build from that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You please.
Hi, my name is Kendrick. I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Ahsan, I would say maybe 3-4 months ago. I am originally from Miami, Florida. My parents are from the Bahamas. I live here in Atlanta. I've lived here for about going on 14 years, and I'm in the creative arts and tech industry.
Good, thanks.
Thanks.
All right.
My name's Hannah. I'm a senior at Wheeler High School. I just met him about a week ago, actually. Hopefully have an internship with him this semester and kind of help me get the idea of neurology so I can become one in the future.
Good.
My name is Cameron Sadi. I am here builder, developer, and realtor. I have been here 30 years. The greatest thing in the society is to love people, be happy, say good, do good, and think good, and serving a society. Dr. Jawaid Ahsan is one of the greatest sample that we can say one of the people that they really make his life, his full life to service the society. And we are grateful to have him. He's been great to me, and I owe him, and he is one of the best of the best.
I'm Zora Moja, so I'm so happy to be in this gathering, and very short speech of doctor, but I learned so much to it. I never know what's going on with our brain with subconscious. Thank you, doctor.
All right. My name is Reza Nabi, and I'm one of his high school alumni friend. That's how I know him. So I moved here a year ago, and I worked for Department of Commerce as a computer engineer right now. So one of the main goals for myself is life is so short. Everybody, we all need to return somewhere. So my goal is to, if there is something in the hereafter exist, I might be one of the successful ones. That gives me peace in my heart, that whatever happens to me, I try my best here. As long as I return to him, I have something successful waiting for me. That's the motivation to live in this world. Thank you.
Hi, Nassim Ahmed. I actually moved from Chicago 3 years ago, and I'm also from his high school, same high school, and he helped me a lot to settle down in Atlanta. I'm also a computer engineer, and I do the backbone of the internet, design and maintenance. That's my specialty. So this is a new experience for me, and hopefully I will learn something. Thank you.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I've already introduced myself, so I've been a good friend of Dr. Ahsan for the last, 5 or 6 years that he's been here, and I've enjoyed his company very much. And we discuss a lot of things back and forth. So we're here to see what we can do for the rest of the community.
So let's hope for the best for the next month's meeting and give feedbacks, whatever positive things that we can do. Thank you again.
Thank you.